We built the most advanced eye in human history, but it was fitted with digital blinders by order of the Pentagon. In 2026, a data conflict between the old Hubble and the state-of-the-art Webb revealed a terrifying truth. The software of the $10 billion telescope contains a built-in reality filter. While the veteran Hubble records clear geometric structures in the Orion Nebula, the Webb stubbornly produces empty images of ideal gas, proving that we are forbidden from seeing what has long been built up in deep space. The 2026 anomaly began with a routine archive reconciliation under the Cosmic Data Integrity Project. A group of independent astrophysicists from Heidelberg compared old Hubble images in the near-infrared range, JWST camera, with the latest Webb data, NIR-CAM instrument, regarding the Orion Nebula. The result was a shock, where Hubble, as recently as 2024, recorded chains of coherent thermal signatures and objects with perfect right angles spanning hundreds of astronomical units. Webb sees only diffuse gas. A technical analysis of the situation indicates that this is not a sensor error. It is the work of automated image separation algorithms. Every byte of data, before reaching NASA's public servers in FITS format, passes through a closed pre-filtration system at the Goddard Space Flight Center. Insiders call this system Layer 0, a software module based on next-generation neural networks that identifies any artificial geometric patterns and seamlessly replaces them with the texture of the surrounding background. This is not mere retouching. It is a dynamic substitution of reality at the machine code level. To grasp the depth of this technical falsification, one must deconstruct the architecture of the JWST data processing pipeline. Unlike Hubble, which transmitted essentially linear matrices with minimal post-processing, Webb utilizes a dithering method and complex mathematical approximation to remove so-called artifacts. Officially, this is necessary to compensate for microvibrations and to remove noise from cosmic rays. However, in 2026, the telescope's software specifications were leaked. It was revealed that the processing libraries contain hard-coded exclusion masks for objects with abnormally low albedo and unnatural morphology. If the telescope encounters a structure whose proportions correspond to the number pi, or the Fibonacci sequence on a star system scale, the onboard complex classifies it as diffraction noise and crops it from the frame. We are looking at the universe through a censorship filter that turns the megastructures of alien civilizations into dust clouds, so as not to disturb the peace of those who paid for this banquet. The context of this cosmic lie is rooted in secret protocols from 2021, signed a month before the Webb launch. At that time, the U.S. intelligence community suddenly insisted on installing an additional encryption node in the data transmission chain. In mid-2026, budgets for JWST data cleaning and validation surged by 400%, while the delay between capturing an image and its publication increased from weeks to months. Why does the old Hubble still see the truth? The answer is laughably simple. Its electronics are built on Intel 486 processors. Hubble physically lacks the computing power for complex neural network filtering on the fly. It transmits a dirty but honest signal. This is exactly why, in 2026, NASA launched an aggressive campaign to prepare for its deorbiting, citing critical gyroscope wear. In reality, the old telescope became a witness that too often finds objects in Orion and the Pleiades that Webb is instructed to ignore. Let's analyze the striking hypothesis. What is the price of this truth? The discovery of even a single Dyson sphere or an interstellar hub in the Orion cloud would instantly void the entire global socio-economic model. If humanity realizes that within a radius of 1,300 light-years, construction is underway on a scale exceeding all the resources of our system, faith in nation-states and local conflicts would vanish overnight. In 2026, cosmic censorship is not a question of science. It is a question of stock market survival. The Pentagon has classified all data concerning thermal anomalies in voids as strategic blindness turning a $10 billion scientific instrument into a private pair of binoculars for the elite, which they are forbidden from sharing with mere mortals. We have a situation where taxpayers funded the construction of a system that now hides the real state of affairs in the universe from them. A detailed analysis of raw 2026 spectrograms, which miraculously leaked through the Johns Hopkins University archives, shows that the density of artificial interference in our galaxy is growing exponentially. This means that activity in space is not comprised of static ruins, but processes occurring right now. Hubble records objects the size of small planets performing maneuvers that violate classical celestial mechanics. When independent observatories request confirmation from Webb using the same coordinates, they receive perfectly retouched images of sterile space. We are witnessing an optical apartheid, where the true face of the universe is accessible only to curators from the National Reconnaissance Office. The rest of the world settles for cosmic wallpaper, created by AI algorithms based on real star fields to simulate scientific activity. Scaling this threat, it becomes clear that Webb is a strategic monitoring system working exclusively in the interests of global players. In 2026, a strange economic shift was recorded. Corporations linked to government contracts began a mass withdrawal of capital into projects for creating fully autonomous underground and underwater ecosystems. It appears that Webb saw not just structures, but their vector of movement. While we are shown images of the pillars of creation, the elite see fleets or automated matter processing systems approaching on their monitors, systems for which Earth is merely another isotope deposit. Censorship on the Webb does not protect us from shock. It protects the elite from a public panic that would prevent them from completing their shelters. From a philosophical and technical standpoint, humanity in 2026 has found itself in a digital cave. We are being fed 8K renders from Houston as objective reality. We believe in the silence of the universe only because our sound was programmatically muted and our image blurred. The anomaly smoothing protocol has turned astrophysics into a branch of computer graphics. The universe has long been built up. Its transit corridors are active, and we are the only inhabitants of a system whose windows have been boarded up with photographs of an empty forest, so that we don't see the demolition of our old world happening in the backyard. In 2026, the question is urgent. How long can you hide what 30-year-old optics can see? Hubble is being systematically killed, and with it vanishes the last independent channel of information about deep space. After its final deorbiting, Webb will become the monopolist of truth, and then reality will officially turn into a state-approved simulation. We are entering an era of total managed ignorance, where knowledge of the true scale of alien presence in space will become the ultimate form of power. The collapse of free science occurred not through bans, but through the implementation of trust filters in measuring instruments. When an algorithm decides for you whether a geometrically regular object is matrix noise or reality, science turns into religion, and in 2026, this religion demands blind faith that we are alone. We are being isolated in an information vacuum, creating an illusion of safety where, in fact, a massive redistribution of spheres of influence has long been underway, one in which we don't even have a right to vote. What will you choose today? The comfortable void on official NASA resources, or the dirty images from the dying Hubble, which sees the shadows of superstructures where we are promised eternal silence? Are you ready to admit that we have been locked in a digital bubble while a great game of titans unfolds beyond its borders? Write in the comments, do you trust the imagery from Webb, or do you believe that Layer Zero is the most guarded secret of our decade? It's time to admit it. Space is inhabited. We were simply forbidden from looking in that direction.